First of all, first of all, you have got to take it easy. We've got to relax. Relax. Okay. Got my gloves on, ready to fight. Okay. So what happened yesterday? Please be aware of what's going on in the market, right? Uh, 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 um, Remember what I keep telling you? Two things I keep telling you. One, you need to buy when everybody else is selling. How does it feel like? How does it feel today to buy when everybody else is selling? Because no one wants to buy, right? It's easy when the market is doing fantastic and everything feels great and you're making money, right? Right? But nobody wants to buy when everybody else is selling. That is when you make money. Right now, right? Because you know the story, right? This is just a story. What is really going on? What is the problem? You wanted cuts, you got the cuts. You got your 25 basis points, okay? You don't have a recession. He says it himself, okay? He's not going to lie to you, okay? At least we're not heading south, right? We're still growing. And tomorrow you're going to hear about the GDP and you're going to hear about the PC. So everybody's waiting for that, okay? Third, third, I mean, I don't follow the entire market. I don't follow the entire market. I follow a few things because I only want to know a few things very well as opposed to a bunch of things kind of average. Okay? When you're learning to ride a bike, you're not trying to ride a dinosaur. You have to ride a bike. Okay? So I'm going to stick to my little bike right now. Do not panic. This is an opportunity. We don't have a problem with the elections. We know the president is. We don't have a problem with rates. They just got cut. And he says it. He said it. He said, I'm going to do two more cuts. Okay. You're not going to get four. You're going to get two. Okay. Fine. We're still getting cuts. Unemployment, 4%. Woo. What's the big deal about unemployment? It is not that bad. Okay. We don't have 10% or 7% like other countries. Third, the economy. We don't have a recession. In fact, we obviously not because we're thinking we're overheating. So it cannot be having a recession. So where you're losing the jobs from? Okay. So you've got to make sure you get your story straight. The only issue is if you start to listen to a bunch of other people who have been waiting, have been telling you the market is going to crash, the market is going to crash, which at the end of the day, it's an easy thing to do. Well, because if you go tell people everything is going to be okay, everything is going to be okay, who cares? But if you tell people you're going to fall, you're going to die, you're going to have cancer, things are going to happen, now obviously that's a problem. So people will say, whoa, what do you mean? And you keep saying it over and over and over. And I've seen people, okay, not mentioning names, right? A little bit of my competition, obviously, for the past year, right? She's been saying, recession, recession, recession. Why? Well, because rates are going up, and there has never been a time, or very few, when the Fed has raised that high in the past, like 2 years ago, and there was no recession. Yeah, because the only way for you to slow the economy down is by raising rates, and raising rates is not this tiny little thing that you just click, click, click. Okay, that's it. That's it. We've slowed the economy down, and we didn't go into recession. That thing with the rates is basically a hammer, bam, and you're hitting, trying to get that fly, and on the way you destroy the desk. That is how it is. So therefore, they were surprised when there was no recession. And guess what? There is no recession. In fact, they may be overheating in the economy. Last time I checked, on the good news side, the earnings for the third quarter, companies were making money. Okay, when you look at the S&P average return, it is up. In fact, for the fourth quarter, it's going to be even higher. So, and we're making money. People are spending. Okay. Now, on the other side. And this is where it gets more complicated, more convoluted, and more prone to actions that may not to make too much sense, is that his language, his speech has changed. And depending who it is that you're talking to, they are evaluating it differently. They're saying, aha, aha. He was talking about 4 cuts. Now he's saying about 2 cuts. Is he saying something that we're not? So we may have a problem with inflation after all. The people that were talking about inflation are basically saying, look, didn't I tell you there was going to be some inflation problems? And look, uh, okay, so he goes from 4 to 2. So, but they're still good. They're still going to fight inflation. It's still going to be good. Okay. Now, the people that thought that they're going to be a recession, they say, oops, you know what? Obviously, he changes his mind. If he changes his mind for that, he could change his mind for everything or for anything. Maybe there is going to be a problem in with the economy. Now, I will tell you that if you look deep enough, there's so much data out there. There's so much data that you could say, you see, we have a problem with employment. And that's the issue that is always easy to do. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is the fact that, so what's going on in the market right now, right? Now, we'll also tell you later on, I will show you that I'm just not talking, right? I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Yesterday, I invested. Okay. Why? Because I always tell you the only way to make money is you want to buy when everybody else is selling and sell when everybody else is buying. Right now, everybody was selling yesterday. Now, of course, when we say everyone, who is really doing the selling? And this is the difficult part, right? This is where the water pulls back and you're left naked out there by yourself on the beach. Okay. So then what you do is you turn around and you rush in to try to get to the water because you don't want to miss the boat. But it's too late. They pull the rug off under you. So what do you do? Well, run after the water. No, 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 no. Okay. You don't do that. You don't run towards the tsunami. You run away from the tsunami, right? You go inland. So when the tsunami comes back, you're safe. So what you do, you buy more. Now, of course, when I say buy more, you have to realize what you're buying. Okay. You got to know what you're buying. And this is when it comes down to the idea that there are 2 items that you need to be focusing on: the price risk and the credit risk. The credit risk is just fine. Last time I checked, Tesla is doing pretty well. Nvidia is doing great. QQQ is doing great. This is basically Apple, Amazon, right? All these companies are doing great. Costco is also part of the top numbers in QQQ, and they are doing great, right? They are just cashing in, and you are, if you are the one that actually sold at the same time, and you weren't making any money, then you're the turkey, you're the turkey, you're the Thanksgiving turkey, if you know what I mean. You know, the turkey that they pluck doesn't know what's going on. You're the turkey, and you don't want to be the turkey. Okay. And how you not become the turkey? First, understand there is price risk. 2, understand there's credit risk. So understand the credit risk right now. Now, I will not lie to you that right now there is price risk, which is purely the movement of the stock that is just collapsed. So what do you do with something like that? Right? You need to realize that we cannot predict this movement. It's like predicting the weather. We know it's going to be cold in the winter, but I can't tell you exactly what temperature is going to be on that particular day. That is something that we're all trying to figure out. And you will never figure it out because what drive the stock markets are stories. Right? So depending where you go, right? If you're listening to people that are really on the side of the Republicans, then they're gonna dump all over um, the um, the Fed chair, right? Because they're gonna be saying that look, he's wavering. Look, he doesn't know what's going on. And of course, they are participating in the storytelling. They are telling their own story. I mean, at the end of the day, you're buying something that you don't see, right? I mean, it's not like they're going to deliver the stock price, the stocks to you, or the option contracts, or you never see any of it. It's just numbers on the screen. And at the end of the day, what's really happening, we don't know. We just have interpretation of what we think is going on or what he thinks is going on. And he's making decisions, and then we are interpreting what we think he's thinking. So you could imagine. I mean, I don't know if you've seen this thing where basically you got a bunch of people around a room, right? 5, 10 people, and you tell someone a story in that person's ear. Then that person turns around and tells the same story to somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. By the time he gets to the 10th person, it's a different story, right? Yeah, the original story stands, but nobody remember that one because everybody's been. And that's what's going on in the market. And that, I'm not saying I have the solution to it, but I am teaching you, and I want you to realize the context in which we're operating. And remember, to make things even more complicated, all these people, and then I'm going to break into to see what's going on in the market. All these people are telling you different stories of their own. Looks green to me. So what happened? What happened? Well, I mean, the market realizes, well, hold on. Microsoft, I think, is doing pretty well. Nvidia is doing pretty well. Google's, Meta, Amazon, Tesla, Costco is doing fantastic. The banks, okay. Let's take a look at our little portfolio on the names that we're following a little bit more close. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Everything is green today. Everything is green, and that is what I meant when I said, "Do not panic." Yesterday was just storytelling time. Storytelling time. And you have to be very careful. Let's just follow Tesla, which is a name that we love and follow. Right? Don't forget, they're doing fantastic things. Okay. Look, hold on. Let me make sure you guys see everything. You're supposed to see it. Uh, it's up 2%. Now, of course, yesterday, as you could see, all right, we were kind of looking at we were at 490 yesterday, and now we're down to 420, and now we're back to 450. This is a $600 stock. Doesn't matter. Still making They're still making cars. They're going to get Tesla is going to. I will go over the stories on each of those names. But let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's business as usual. I'm looking at what these people are talking about, but it's business as usual. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much about all of these things that are happening right now. Um, yeah. I mean, so at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, don't panic, don't worry, take a look at what's going on. Now, one thing that I want to do, is there a problem happening with the is there a problem happening with the thing? I mean, this is where we don't know. So we need to take a look at what's going on. We need to take a look at what's going on with the situation. Okay. And what is the situation? The situation right now is there was, well, not today because now everything we're green. Yesterday was all about the panic. Hopefully you did some buying. I mean, you still can do it today because remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the market. It's all about the market. So let's go right now and see how we're doing.
Over to the Nasdaq right now, and someone else is ringing. In any case, let's get to the market action because we're really excited about the S&P 500, currently higher by about 0.7% in the first few seconds of trading. Big tech to also managing to build a rally here. Small caps are interesting, of course. Really, this index taking a beating yesterday. Those small companies really banking on lower rates in 2025. That was worth a 4 to 5% decline yesterday, but of course, Russell 2000 up about 1% at this moment. We'll see.
Okay. All right. I just want to give you a flavor of what's happening this morning. It's all forgotten. I forgave you everything. We're back to normal. Now, let's take one thing at a time. Let us take a look at what is going on with the jobs, right? Because we said, well, the job market, the job market, the job market. Let me share with you a website called dailyjobcuts.com. And let's see, what's going on here. Okay, so let me share with you this website. Okay, layoffs, right? So if you look, Amazon workers strike at 7 US facility. So layoffs are right here. December layoff total 10,000 in December. So EV startup Canoe Bags, Ring Therapeutic, and BT Cycle. So we got 19 jobs here too. I mean, it's literally go down by job. 160, 650. Okay, you could see, look at yourself a little bit what we're seeing, but basically these are right. So you could see all the job cuts that are happening now. Is that significant? Well, I mean, I, I don't see a tremendous amount of situation here, right? That is happening. Okay. Let's see here. I have recent news, December 204, 89, 180. Okay. Then we have Disney cuts, Textron to definitely post snowmobile. Recent news, 5 shocking indicators heading for total collapse. I mean, look at, news like that. Okay, these are video. I mean, I don't see anything significant here that would cause me to Fed rate case by 0.25%. Trump consider privatizing U.S. Postal Service. I mean, business job news. I mean, basically, right? I mean, we're not seeing anything of big significance. No, they tend to show that the recent news, and so that should give you a view what's going on within the job market. Now, another one that I think could be interesting is what we call inflation index. Okay, and basically what it does calculate the inflation. So let me share with you this other website. It's called Trueflation. So this is basically, this is Trueflation. It's another way for them to calculate inflation or true representation. Okay. Right here. Okay. So as you could see, when you look at those inflation numbers, it was up in April and it was going down in September. But since October, it has gone up. It has gone up in December. And this is probably what you're seeing in terms of, controlling, this discussion about, I mean, look at some of these numbers, 2,400%. So we're at 3%. Okay. So that's kind of where the nervousness is coming from, this increase in inflation. And where do they get the information from? Well, they get the information from thousands of points. So as you could see, why we track 30 million items from over 80 data sources, so they tend to be a lot more accurate. So when you look at this data, right, so it would appear that we're tracking back up again to 3%. So yes, in that end, but although it's been going down since since we reached a peak in December, and we've been dropping. So it seems to be working. Now, obviously, for you to fight against this number, you're going to need to obviously raise the rates to stop that progression. Okay. Next, let's see how our names are doing, because a name that I'm particularly interested in, is VMC. And the reason VMC is interesting is because, let's take a look at, right, it's been going down. Well, it went down yesterday, right? But it has been going down since November, quite frankly. And the reason it's been going down since November is because it was a play. Let me show you, maybe longer. It's literally a play on infrastructure, right? So you see that, and I mean, at some point it becomes very cheap and very affordable. I mean, the P ratio, the forward P ratio is now 29.43, which is very cheap. Now today, I mean, yesterday, let's put it this way, yesterday, it was kind of starting to creep up, but then because of what happened with the rates, then they also got shut down. But don't despair. Don't despair, because this morning we are back up already right here. And you could see what's happening. I predict that this thing is going to be moving up. Why? Now let's see if there are any news on the company. December 13th. December 13th, today was Vulcan to acquire now remember, December 11th, Vulcan to acquire in Southern California. Now this company in the meantime is growing. The company is still alive. We're not going anywhere soon. Vulcan Material, the nation's largest producer of construction aggregates, today announced that they have entered into a definite agreement to acquire this company. Right. Now, remember, Vulcan is the largest producer of construction aggregates. We're going to make money when we start rebuilding the country. This acquisition is consistent with our aggregate-led growth strategy. The company is growing. And that's important to note. Next, Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. Okay. How are we doing with Tesla? We're up 2.3% already. Why? Well, because you realize that, come on, nothing has changed. And don't forget, this thing is trading at a forward P of 134. It's been upgraded to 480. Rate to December 18th, 480, 515. Is Tesla stock a buy or sell after latest price target hike? 70%. I mean, you see how they tell the story? Look. Just sharing with you what's going on in the market even there so you get some comfort. Is a 75% tear. Continue reading. Okay. So what is the answer? We believe the next 4 years will be a total game changer for the AI story for Tesla and Musk. Our bull case is $650 for 2025. $625 could reach 2 trillion market cap. I already told you about the 2 trillion market cap in a previous video. So this is not news for me. Morgan Stanley profile analyst bull target 400 up from 310. Elon Musk entry into the political sphere spending investor thinking. It's a story. While a reassessment of self-driving at national level could be inevitable in our view, still faces significant hurdles to overcome. Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're not going to be a walk in the park either. But the point, you could see how the story shape the narratives. And that is why it is very difficult to predict the stock market. And that's why it's important for you to have a few important views on what to do, right? Buy when everybody else is selling. Know your investment. Understand the story. Realize the gain, right? You, at the end of the day, especially right now, I mean, all we're talking about is a rate increase that we wanted to begin with. Now, of course, because it's such high valuation, right? It's all the way up there. It's easy to come down. It's easy to clean up. It's easy to give yourself a reason to sell. So who knows why these people are selling? I don't know if you know, but in 1987, there was a stock market crash where the market crashed by 20%, and no one knew exactly why it happened. And that is what you need, my friend. First of all, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It's always important. But also, that is the reason why you need to follow it. And what I mean by follow the market, you need to understand what's happening literally on a daily basis. Yeah, they behave in very, very strange ways, and you need to understand them. Okay. So, ending word of the day, do not panic.